He mocked cultures, disrespected entire nations, and laughed at the consequences until karma finally caught up. Johnny Somali made a name for himself through controversy and chaos, but that fame came with a ticking clock. From viral outrage to international arrests, his downfall wasn't just inevitable, it was earned. What started as reckless live streaming spiraled into global backlash. So, what finally ended his run? And why do so many think it was long overdue? This is the explosive story of Johnny Somali's deserved end. You'll want to see how it all crumbled. There are internet trolls, and then there's Johnny Somali. For more than a year, this guy went from being just another small-time IRL streamer to becoming one of the most disliked people online, and not by accident. He wasn't just loud or annoying, he was dangerous, disrespectful, and honestly disgusting. Wherever he went, he left a mess behind. And now, after months of chaos, it seems like the door has finally closed on his toxic journey. He started off doing simple travel vlogs, nothing too wild, just walking around Thailand, trying local food and talking to the camera. But no one was watching. Hundreds of videos later, barely anyone cared. That's when something clicked. He realized that being respectful didn't bring attention, so he flipped the switch. He began saying things that would make people angry, harassing strangers, yelling offensive words, and treating every country he visited like a playground for his clout chasing. His big break came in Japan. It was supposed to be just another stop in his IRL journey, but instead of appreciating the culture or being a decent guest, he went straight into insult mode. He shouted at passengers on trains, mocked historical tragedies, and even called people NPCs like they weren't real humans. People were shocked, not just in Japan but around the world, and that's exactly what he wanted: attention. At first, the views started pouring in. Clips of him being rude spread fast. Some people hated him, others just watched to see how much worse he could get. For Johnny, this was a win. He believed that more hate meant more viewers, and in his mind, more viewers meant more money, so he pushed harder. He taunted people, messed with streamers, and did anything to keep his name trending. He even targeted other creators, like the time he harassed a female Twitch streamer on the street, knowing it could get her banned. He didn't care. It was all just part of his plan to stay relevant. But eventually, the line between troublemaker and criminal started to blur. In Japan, he trespassed on private property and disturbed public spaces. The authorities got involved, and he was arrested more than once. Still, he didn't stop. Even when told to leave Japan, he came back like nothing had happened. He thought he could get away with anything. Then he moved on to Israel and South Korea, continuing the same reckless behavior. And that's when everything started to fall apart. South Korea, especially, wasn't going to let things slide. After he disrespected a memorial dedicated to war victims, the backlash was immediate and fierce. People started tracking his location. He was physically attacked. A bounty was even placed on his head. For once, Johnny seemed to realize he might have gone too far, but by then, it was already too late. The walls were closing in. Johnny Somali thought he could keep running his game, jumping from country to country, stirring up controversy, and walking away with views. But South Korea didn't have it. Unlike the other places he disrespected this time, the public didn't just get mad online. They took action, and they weren't playing around. After his disgusting stunt at the Statue of Peace, where he danced half naked and kissed a memorial that symbolizes one of the darkest periods in Korean history, he didn't just face internet backlash. Real people began looking for him. Some even caught him on the street and hit him. At that point, he couldn't hide behind a camera or fake apologies anymore. He was getting cornered in real life, and these weren't isolated incidents. He got tracked, confronted, and assaulted over and over. It became clear. His usual strategy of acting bold and playing dumb wasn't going to save him. He did what he did. He claimed he didn't know what the statue meant. He said he was trying to entertain, but no one believed him. This wasn't his first offense, and everyone knew it. From Japan to Israel, he had shown a pattern: mock the locals, stir up trouble, play the victim, and try to cash in on the chaos. South Koreans weren't going to fall for that act. Then came the deepfake scandal. He posted a video claiming he had a Korean girlfriend, just another weird brag for attention. But the video was fake. It used AI to place his face next to a real Korean streamer named Bong Bong. She had nothing to do with him and was shocked when she saw the footage. In South Korea, using deepfakes like this is a serious crime. She went straight to the police and filed a report. He was arrested again. Bong Bong later dropped the charges, but it didn't matter. That one incident opened the floodgates. Once the police had him in custody, others who had been affected by his past behavior started coming forward. Businesses he disrupted, people he harassed. Everyone now had a reason to press charges. He was no longer just an online clown. He was a legal problem. The Korean government took it seriously. They confiscated his passport, banned him from leaving the country, and took his filming gear so he couldn't stream anymore. Suddenly, Johnny Somali was trapped. No camera, no money, no escape. He had made a career out of being the loudest, most disrespectful guy in the room, but now he had no audience and no exit. And still, instead of changing, he kept mocking the situation. He laughed about his court date, compared himself to celebrities who beat big cases, said he'd walk out of the trial like nothing happened. But this time, it's different. South Korean prosecutors are preparing to go all in. There are multiple charges against him, and some carry serious prison time. While it's unlikely he'll serve the full sentence being talked about online, up to 29 years, the government is expected to use this case to send a message, a warning to anyone who thinks they can come into another country and disrespect people without consequences. And for the first time, Johnny can't laugh his way out of it. His final videos show a man who's not just out of options but also out of time. No country wants him, no platform supports him, and the viewers who once gave him attention have moved on. All that's left is the damage he caused, and now finally, the punishment is catching up to him. Now Johnny Somali waits. His trial is set and the world is watching, but not in the way he always wanted. People aren't tuning in for entertainment anymore. They're hoping to see justice. He built his fame on causing pain, spreading hate, and crossing every line possible, but that same path led him here, stuck in a country that no longer finds him amusing, with no way to run and no more excuses to hide behind. His so-called career, once fueled by cruelty and chaos, has crashed hard. And the sad truth is, it didn't have to end like this. He had chances to stop, to reflect, to walk away, but he chose the worst road every time. And now, that road ends in a courtroom, not a live stream. For once, it's not about views, it's about consequences. And this time, he truly has no one left to blame but himself.